What is going on, guys? How are you guys doing today? Welcome back to the channel. I greatly appreciate you guys tuning in. I think I got a kind of a cool comparison today. We are going to compare the 2023, if not at this point a 2024, because they're already starting to talk about 2024s, which is funny, and they haven't barely got any of the 2023s out. But anyway, so we're going to be talking about the Chevy Colorado ZR2 2023 or 2024, depending on what if you ordered one, depending if we're going to get it or not. I think it would be kind of a cool comparison of the new for what has been shown and what kind of stuff has been released about this vehicle. The Ford Ranger Raptor, I think it's going to be kind of Chevy's got a thing on their hands, or got a very close, if not a better truck to compete with them. The stats are incredible for, I'm not trying to say that I'm, going to go get a Ford, but I'm really, Chevy's got a thing, a real good competition going. On top of that, you got the 2024 Toyota Tacoma Pro coming out down the line. So we're just going to kind of jump into this, and eventually we're going to do the Toyota comparison. So we're just going to kind of start from just the basic, the front bumper. I think the upstart, and we're going to start, I'm going to start with a Chevy, go back to the Ford, and kind of go work my way back and forth. So as a comparison wise. So obviously we're going to start with the Chevy ZR2. The styling of it, I think the truck looks amazing. Personally, it's probably one of my favorite trucks out of the looks. I think the front bumper, the grille, just everything that they've done to that front end, I personally think it is speaking of Ranger, just passing up one right now. But for the ZR2, I personally think it looks the best. I absolutely love it. So I'm still sticking with the ZR2. So the Ford, it definitely has that updated styling. It has that big Ford, the big Ford emblem up front. It says that big bold FORD. The way that they have their daytime running lights wrapped around it, kind of really showcasing, hey, this is a Ford. When it's coming towards you, you know what that vehicle is, and that's no exception with all the vehicles when they started going through this, and they put that big Ford up front. And a lot of companies were kind of going after that because people like that look, and I think that looks pretty slick. But I personally still really like the 2023, 2024 Chevy Colorado front bumper. The only thing I wish that either one of them would have, and I think it should just kind of come stock on the vehicles anyway, is a ready winch mount. I think that should be kind of standard, especially for being in the off-road, and people that buy these kind of trucks are going to want to put a winch on. They're gonna want to put that on there, because honestly, in my personal opinion, I think it should have it on, especially if you start going into mud or you just need just to get yourself up and over a rock or something. I think it's very important. And then we're gonna go with wheels and tires. They're both coming in. Well, the Chevy's coming with a 17-inch rim with a 33-inch tire wrapped around with an MT tire. I can't remember what tire brand they went with, and you do have the option of getting the beadlock capable rim. So you buy the rim, then you have to buy a ring for the to get a true beadlock, or you can run the ring and have it as a traditional rim. So that's those wheels are nice because you have the option. Downside is if you have it on the beadlock side, not a lot of companies are willing to touch it because it takes time, and in their world they may they don't want to deal with the hassle if they end up screwing something up. So that's something kind of to watch out for. The Ford is coming with a 33-inch BF Goodrich all-terrain. So there's already a difference right there. The ZR2 is coming with an MT tire, which is a mud terrain, and the Ford is coming in with an all-terrain tire. I think even like the Jeeps are coming mostly with an all-terrain tire. They're not, they're not bad. I personally really like the MT look. So, and BF Goodriches, I'm not a big fan of them personally, but they are still a very good tire company. Or the KO3s. It's that one I actually found the actual brand that are coming in. They are coming with the KO3 tires. They're good tires, especially in like Moab and stuff like that. They do grip very well, but they do clog up with mud quite well. And also the Ranger, it comes with a B-lock capable rim if you choose to. I'm sure there's an upcharge for either one of them. And now the biggest elephant in the room, the biggest differences is the Chevy comes with a 2.7 turbo high output motor that produces 310 wheel horsepower. That's not, I mean, in my personal opinion, that's not bad. I think it should be probably more, but it is what it is. I mean, a WRX that I own a WRX that comes stock at like 264, so it already comes more power than my WRX. I mean, my WRX has been modified, so I'm pushing a lot more than that, but it's still, the thing I really like about this, it comes with 430 foot-pounds of torque, which is awesome. That's a good amount of torque. You should be able to turn 35s without even re-gearing. Shouldn't even have to, you probably won't even lose a gear. So I do think that's nice, and I probably would still recommend re-gearing, but I think you'd still be alright. So the big difference is for the Ford, it has a 3.0 liter EcoBoost V6 that pushes out 405 wheel horsepower. So you're 95 more horsepower than the ZR2. If you're like me, and you're on the trails, you're not truly going fast. I do a lot of overlanding, and this is what my truck's gonna be built for. So speed to me is not really the biggest issue. So I do think that is, if speed's your thing, then definitely look at the Ford, because you're getting that 90 or 95 more horsepower than the Chevy. And then both of them actually still do come with, obviously, the Ford comes with the same exact amount of torque as the Chevy, 430 foot-pounds of torque. Oh, excuse me. Which is still good. That's still a good amount of torque. So that is paired up with the Chevy. The motor is paired up with an 8-speed automatic, and the Ford comes with a 10-speed automatic. So you get 2 more gears out of the Ford. You get more power. You're essentially getting more out of that vehicle. There is a price difference, but we'll get that to the end. So then with the trans, they do come with, each of them have 5 modes that it's going to come with. So you're getting for the Chevy, you are getting a normal, off-road, terrain, Baja, and a tow haul mode. For the Ford, you're getting a normal, tow haul, sport, slippery, off-road, rock crawl, and Baja. So you're actually getting one more mode in the Ford Raptor than you are the ZR2. Is it really that big of a difference? But we're going to talk about the differences here in just a second. They both have very, very good quality shocks. So the Chevy's coming with a Multimatic DSSV dampening system. There's no electronics. It's basically what it comes from the factory is what you're gonna basically feel. So that it is what it is. If it's a stiff ride and whatnot, that's what the truck's gonna feel like. The crazy thing is that they still, me personally, I actually really wish that they would switch for the ZR2 springs in the rear, but they still stuck with the kind of the good old truck never fail leaf springs. Nothing wrong with the leaf springs, but me personally, I'd rather see springs, which this is going to be kind of a big difference. The Ford is coming with the next generation of Fox 2.0, so it's a 2.5-inch reservoir, but it's electronic shock. So with those modes, when you adjust the dial in it, it's on the fly. So if you're driving on the road and like, oh, this is too hard, so you just switch to normal. So you're getting that back to that soft, ride feel quality that it should be. So that's going to be kind of interesting to see. The cool thing, the big differences in the rear. So obviously the Chevy has leaf springs. They went with a coil-over system in the rear, which is I rather would see. I personally would rather have that. But the cool thing with the Ford is they got a lower control arm and a long travel rear suspension. And they also went with the Watson linkage, which is actually kind of crazy. I never really, I've never really understood it, because it's basically you got your two arms that's coming off the arms, and then it's going right to the pumpkin. I think that's it's an interesting setup that what they went with, and I think it's actually kind of neat and makes it a little bit more unique, which is always cool. So I'm really kind of curious on what on the flex text and see how that Raptor actually flexes. So I do think that's kind of a neat. The cool thing is I couldn't really find too much about the Ford on this thing, or on this kind of comparison with the suspension. The ZR2 is coming with a 3-inch factory install lift kit with those shocks that with the DSSV's shocks. It's so you're getting a 3-inch lift out of it, but that's also coming from the base model. So a 3-inch lift may really not be that much. I haven't really personally seen one in person because they're not really out yet. So I'm kind of really curious on how tall it is compared to a WT, a work truck. And so I'm kind of curious on truly, does it really make it tall? And are they getting that lift with the 33-inch tires? I think I do think that's coming into play to get that extra, maybe a couple inches. So it's not really a true lift, but that's something we'll have to see, especially when the truck comes in, and I'll have to kind of check that out. So the big thing is what I see with the ZR2, your towing with trailer is at 6,000 pounds. Compared to all the other Colorados, it's about 1,500 less towing, which I don't personally do a lot of towing, so it doesn't really matter to me. It may affect you guys. Oh, watch it going off. It may affect you guys if you tow a lot. I don't really tow. I just need a bed, and we're gonna put a rooftop tent on, and just enough, for it to what I enjoy doing with my stuff. The interior, both interiors are amazing. So obviously the ZR2 is coming with either, I think most of them are coming with the leather. Most people, I'm gonna guess, are gonna get the leather because they're gonna want the rear, arms, or the rear back seat that comes down, or not the back seat, where it folds down for the couple. I can't think of the name of it, but I think most people for the ZR2 are going to end up getting the leather. I personally not a big fan of leather, but it kind of is what it is. Because I end up getting, or if you order the Bose system with the for the ZR2, you have no choice. You have to get leather. So, but the interior is all up to date. I think it's on both ends. The Chevy M4, they both look slick. So for the Chevy, you get an 11-inch cluster screen, which is that's basically a tablet. That's showing out your clusters, and I think the cluster looks really slick. I really like it. And the LCD, basically the radio and the LCD screen is an 11.3-inch LCD color display with built-in Google Maps and Apple CarPlay. So that's kind of most cars are coming with those anymore, so it's not really too new. But the Ford and the Chevy is actually more vertical, or not vertical, horizontal. The whole thing's going horizontal. The Ford is a high resolution 12.4-inch cluster, so you're getting a bigger screen at your cluster, and you're getting an 11-inch entertainment center. So you got both bigger on each end. So it's kind of, it went bigger. The Ford's is more vertical than it is going horizontal. So I do think that's whatever everyone decides to whatever vehicle you choose to get, I think it's you're not hurting either way. I think they're both going to be amazing screens. Obviously, I'm still going with the Chevy no matter what. So I think that's if a radio comes into play for you, then it definitely looks slick though. So the biggest thing that everybody's going to want to know, cost, and there's actually quite a bit of difference. And so I just got for the Chevy's lineup, I got the WT, which is the work truck. That's starting out at $33,995, which is actually personally that's actually pretty reasonable. And the Ford basic Ranger is at $27,400. So there's if you're kind of just going for the basic, there is a pretty good savings, if you want with the Ford. But the difference is, and of course, these aren't really priced out for the Raptor yet. The ZR2 is starting out at $48,295. Mine all spec'd out, it was $52,000. Which I was reading last night, the average cost of a brand new vehicle is at $48,000. It just said all across the board is the average is around $48,000 for a brand new vehicle. So because of inflation and whatever else. The only information I'm able to find for the Raptor, of course it was more of a question mark than anything, is that the Raptor can be starting at between $52,000 or at $56,000. So in between $52,000 and $56,000 is where the difference is. What I'm kind of gathering and understanding, and what people are kind of finding out is, don't quote me on those numbers because they're probably not very accurate, but I can see that being up at that price. You're getting a little bit more tech. You're getting a lot more horsepower out of the Ford. You're getting probably more gears in your trans. Personally, if I had to choose between the two, I'd probably end up still going with the Chevy, because I really like that Chevy. So I do think the Ford is going to be around that price, and I can see that being at that $52,000 to $56,000 for the Raptor. And that's not even spec'd out and whatnot yet. And mine, I didn't even add really too much. I added the Bose system, so it's giving me the leather seats, the Bose system. I think the heated steering wheel, heated seats, and I didn't want it all to be full blown out, spec'd out, because for that you could have went with the Desert Boss, which was another about $10,000 added on top of that. So that would have been a $58,000 truck if I got the Desert Boss. And me personally, I didn't need to spend 10 grand for basically a brush guard, and it was ready winch. What else? I think they also came with I think some different badging, and it also came with that light bar thingy on top, or the Baja rack, I think is what they called it. Yeah, that's my quick little comparison of the two. I think it's very close, and I think overall the Ford actually wins the categories. Overall you get the power and everything else, like I was saying before. So, if you're in the truck market and you're really trying to debate on which one you're getting more bang for your buck, personally, I think you're getting more bang out of the buck out of the Ford. But I really, me personally, I really like this Chevy. I could cancel it, but I've waited this long. I'm gonna keep waiting, and so I think that's I think that I'm gonna wrap this video up right in here. Put down in the comments on which what you guys like. Do you like the Chevy? Do you like the Ford? What don't you like about the Chevy, and what don't you like about the Ford, or which one do you like out of the both? So I appreciate you guys watching, hitting that like, subscribing. Please leave some comments. I actually have more fun interacting with you guys than just seeing a like and a comment, or not just a like or something like that. Leave a quick comment. Interact a little bit. I think that would be awesome. I'm still getting used to talking basically to myself. So videos are gonna get better, I promise. Especially when the truck gets in, it's gonna be basically game on from there. So, like I said, hit that like and subscribe. Please leave me a comment down below, and that'd be awesome. So I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.